Sorry about that. I had to turn the fan off. It's making too much noise. Oof. Had to turn the light on because nobody can see me. And of course, it's very important that you see me. Can you see me? Oh, happy Saturday. Oh, at the bottom of my cup. Oh. It's Saturday, September 6th at 8:09 a.m., which is a little late, but I got up less than an hour ago. Went through a bit of news feed and stuff online because, it's important to keep abreast of what's going on in the world, because everything external to you is creeping in on you and causing you all this consternation, and then you react to it in such a way that you create a new world. Or not. I don't know. So I've put some stuff in the chat, and I would like, if somebody's here on a Saturday morning, it could be Saturday early evening in England, or in the UK, or in Europe, certain parts of Europe, places where they speak this language, whatever this is. Excuse me. So I wonder sometimes why. Why am I? Why am I? I am because two people loved each other. That is what I want to believe. It's a biological creation, and because two people loved each other, that's what I want to believe. Okay, so I have no idea, but that's why I am. Biology, right? So that keeps me. Sorry. Oof, got to stretch this morning. I have to do some exercises. Ow, don't want to. Oof, too lazy. But why I am. Yeah, that's what I want to believe. But how am I to know? I mean, I believe my mother and father loved each other. I mean, in that moment they did. Well, maybe. I don't know. So why I am? Not really sure, am I? No. Why I am. Is this working? Yeah, it is. Okay. So let's go to another one. What am I? I believe both my parents and their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents. I believe that they were Homo sapien, humans. Do I have definitive proof and evidence of their human existence? No, I have experience. I experienced them as my parents. Definitive proof? I can't actually remember coming out of the birth canal. I can't. I mean, I tried in my own contemplative way, which is a good exercise anyway, but definitive proof? So I think I'm human, but I don't know. Not 100%. I mean, you can run tests if you want. Maybe that's what this life is. It's a test to see how humankind is losing or winning this battle to stay organic. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that is part of our struggle, is to learn how to stay human. Maybe. Don't know. So what am I? Not really sure. I'm going to skip who am I. I'm going to go to where am I? Or where am I in life along my timeline? You know, birth, death. Well, I'm definitely near the other end. If I gauge my human experience on all the evidence that I see around me, 69 coming up to 70. Well, I'm not 69 years old. So I've been 69 years since I came through the birth canal, which I can't remember, as a human, which I'm not sure about. Gosh. So if it's where am I in my timeline, I don't know. I mean, towards the end for sure. Well, really for sure. No, because life could be eternal. Just because I'm in a meat suit, haha, just because I'm in this body doesn't necessarily mean that my life doesn't continue beyond the death process. So, don't know. Not really sure. So, where am I? Well, in a physical location, as far as I know, according to maps, but are maps real? Anyway, but let's not go there. Geographically, where am I? Well, I'm sat in this chair, and this chair is in my house, which is an RV, which is a where I choose to live, and that's on a piece of land that is part of a farm. It's a little farm, like a home farm, right? So it's like they call it a farm, but it's a community. So it's part of a small community, and that small community is based in a larger area, like a village called Shadow Hills, and then it's right on the edge of a very big city. Well, it's not even on the edge. There's still loads more, but it's a very big city. It's called Los Angeles in California. But that's where I geographically seem to be broadcasting from, because that's what it says on the map. That's what it says on my phone. So there I am. So that I'm getting I'm a little closer to understanding myself, because that's where I am. I think. Why am I? That's a big one, isn't it? Why am I? That's pretty. That's a big, wide one, isn't it? Why am I? I think because we all feel like we have something to give to the greater whole of society. We search for an inner meaning and an inner reason for being. So why am I? Well, I believe, and it's a belief, I am, because I'm here to create more of what it is I believe in. So that has to be my sense of purpose. But it's only a sense, it's only an idea. So I go out into the world and I share my idea of how the world is to me. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it is to anybody else. But I pass it on as a message because I've learned language and I've learned to communicate through music and art. So I suppose that's why am I. So as I can pass along anything that I've gleaned or learn from this experience as a human, I can pass that along. And that usually starts with people really close to me and then goes out and out and out and out. So that's what I try and do. So, and my commitment to that is 100%, because I think, or I believe, that I have some messages to pass on, right? It's like passing a baton in a big race, the human race. So I'm getting closer to thinking I have a sense of purpose, but maybe I don't. Maybe my life is just gone and don't really have a purpose. I don't know. We'll find out. But how do we find out? Well, feedback. And I don't get much feedback. The reason I don't get much feedback is because everybody else is doing their messages. And I think that's very important. I think that's more important than feeding back and saying, oh, Nigel, I listened to your ideas and I thought perhaps that might be a good one, or that might be a good one. But we should pick. I mean, we should choose. So I suppose in a way, I'm answering my own question a little bit there, because it's all about choice, what you choose. Maybe that's true too. Don't know. When am I? Oof. That means that time exists. Well, I've listened to some amazing people who truly explain that we're measuring time in order to give it meaning. So, all of the what, who, where, at, why, when, all of that becomes kind of wrapped up in time and space. So where am I and why am I, and now when am I? It's like, so I think I started by putting out a title for this little talk that I'm doing. I don't want to make it little, I'm going to make it big, for this gigantic talk that I'm giving. Oh, as a child, as a man, I think that's what I call this little rant. As a child, the world looked like, my senses. And now, as a man, many years later, same thing. Chaos, imagination. Somewhere between chaos and imagination lies me. Oof, not lying, telling the truth. Somewhere between chaos and imagination is the limitation of this human experience. So where do those limitations come from? Human experience has shown me that if you can't believe it, then it's probably not real. And if you can believe it, then it probably is real. So what, who, where, why, when am I? I'm a set of beliefs walking around in a physical incarnation known as a human, to all intents and purposes. And I'm doing my best. I'm trying to do good in this world, trying to build instead of destroy, and looking at everything as an opportunity for me to express myself within it and to express all the goodness that I see within it, because the goodness is coming through me. So here I am, expressing myself. Hello. So is this me? Is this me? Is this a real me? Was it all me? Was it all me all along? We are multifaceted human beings. Multifaceted meaning we have many faces. That doesn't mean we're fake. It means we have to accept the fact that we can be whatever we want to be. And that's been a ongoing struggle, I think, since, well, when I look through history and I see like cave drawings, petroglyphs, hieroglyphs, stuff that before we could actually, or were we actually communicating better back then, and we just like symbols? I don't know. But it seems to me like we've struggled to communicate with each other. Our whole lives, our whole human experience, our whole human existence has been through communication with each other. Might be body language, you know. Hello, darling. How you doing? You all right? That's me flirting. I'm crap at it. But the point is, we communicate, but we don't necessarily always use words. And sometimes when we use words, we use them in ways which are misinterpreted by the receiver of those words. Now, if I was sat talking to my friend who comes up in the chat sometimes, I've grown to love and enjoy his input, but he's from Poland. Now he's learned English so as he can communicate, and he's actually a very good, beautiful man, Conrad. And I don't know where you are this Saturday, but it's Saturday and I know you work, so I assume you must be out enjoying life, and that's an assumption, but I hope you are. Thank you, Conrad. And you know, but his native language, if he and I were sat in the room and we only knew our native language, we wouldn't be able to understand each other, but we would, because we have a connection that goes beyond language. And if I wasn't doing this, I would never have met Conrad. And Conrad is a great guy. It's a really great guy, but he's on the other side of the world. And, that's just one example. So sometimes it's not the words, sometimes it's the way in which you present yourself to this world. And that's a performance. Because I can't talk. I don't know how many languages there are in the world. But I can't talk all those languages. But I can communicate. And I communicate through music and art and this actual sitting and talking. But there's one thing missing from all of my explanations, and that is listening. When you talk, when one does talk a lot, one can get filled up with your ideas that you need to spill onto the world. Go on, listen. But if you haven't mastered the art of listening, then you're not learning. And then if you're not learning, what you're communicating and saying, it doesn't come from a place of experience. You haven't experienced other people's ideas, points of view. You don't have to agree with them. This is where we trip up, I think, is we don't have to have a consensus reality. What do I mean by consensus reality? This world is not shaped by the majority of us. If we believe that, then you might as well believe in government, because then the ones who vote for the most, all that is no. I mean, I'm not trying to be anti-democratic. I like democracy in its in a general form, but to be actually democratic, we'd have to count every single person in the world and ask their specific opinion about who they would like to put in charge of running the world. And oh dear. And how to run the world. Just give them the free rein to go run the world. This is why I don't believe in a democratic society. There's all these wonderful choices we have in life. Now, some people get overwhelmed by those choices. They get bullied and coerced into doing things that they wouldn't normally do, and they make mistakes. But the thing is, you have to forgive them. You have to forgive yourself, because we're bound to make mistakes. Think about it. There's so many of us, so many opinions, so many creative human beings in this world that are giving their opinion, and that's all it is. So don't get messed up with it. It's just a ride. This human experience is just a ride. But I say just a ride, it's a very important ride for many. And you don't really want to stop that person believing in their own importance. But at the same time, if they're telling you how to live your life, then you got to really think about that, because if you don't know how to make choices, then maybe you've lost the one thing that's very important that you were born with: unconditional love. You were born with that. That makes you inquisitive. That makes your modus be one of inquiry. Wow, and you don't want to harm anybody. Vitally important. You don't want to go out there intentionally hurting somebody. And if you do, you apologize and you hope for forgiveness. But you forgive others, and they forgive you. You move on and you make choices and you go on and you love more. You don't stop loving. You love more. Okay, I love you more. I gotta go. I hope. That's what I do. I do it a lot. What do I hope for? Better communication. I think that's vitally important. All right. I love you. Bye now.